Chapter 1. The Abduction. The starport of Xyrus 9 was a sprawling neon-lit hive of smugglers, mercenaries, and traders from 100 different worlds. The air smelled of ionized fuel and something faintly metallic, blood perhaps from the last brawl that had broken out near the docking bays. Princess Larissa of the Veilith Dominion had been warned not to come here. But she was young, reckless, and tired of the gilded cage of royal life. Disguised in a common traveler's cloak, she had slipped away from her royal guard to see the galaxy's underbelly for herself. She never made it back to her ship. A shadow moved behind her. Before she could react, a neural disruptor pressed against her neck. Her body locked up, muscles seizing as her vision blurred. The last thing she saw was a pair of glowing crimson eyes, the mark of the Zorathian slavers. When she awoke, she was in a reinforced transparasteel cage, displayed like a trophy in the cargo hold of a Zorathian dreadnought. Around her, other prisoners, warriors, scholars, even children, huddled in their own cages. A massive Zorathian warlord, Krax the Unbroken, loomed over her. His voice was a guttural growl. "The Dominion will pay a king's ransom for you, princess. Or, perhaps I'll keep you as a prize." Larissa spat at him. Krax only laughed. Chapter 2. The bounty no one would claim. Word spread fast across the outer rim. The Zorathians had Princess Larissa, and they weren't giving her up without a fight. A bounty was posted. 50 million galactic credits for her safe return. Yet no one dared take it. The Zorathians were monsters. Their ships were armed with plasma cannons, their warriors enhanced with bio-augmentations that made them nearly unstoppable. Worse, they had allies. Pirate fleets, rogue AIs, even a renegade faction of the Galactic Council who turned a blind eye to their crimes. Every mercenary, every bounty hunter, every warlord with a ship looked at that bounty, and walked away, until he showed up. Chapter 3. The Human Who Stepped Forward. His name was Jace Rook. Human. In a galaxy of telepathic Eldari, cybernetic Drathax, and hulking Garati, humans were unremarkable. No natural weapons. No psychic gifts. Just stubbornness and a knack for surviving against impossible odds. Jace was a freelance salvager, a man who made his living picking through the wreckage of dead civilizations. He wasn't a hero. He wasn't even particularly noble. But he had one rule. No one deserved chains. When he saw the bounty, he didn't hesitate. He walked into the smuggler's den, the roughest bar on Xyrus 9, and slapped his hand on the counter. "I'm taking the job." The room went silent. Then laughter erupted. A Drathax bounty hunter, his limbs gleaming with cybernetics, sneered. "You, a human. You'll be dead before you even reach Krax's ship." Jace just smirked. "We'll see." Chapter 4. The Infiltration. Jace didn't have an army. He didn't have a warship. What he did have was a stolen Zorathian fighter, a forged Iden chip, and a plan so stupid it might actually work. He docked with the dreadnought, pretending to be a lowly mechanic. The Zorathians barely glanced at him. Humans were beneath their notice. Moving through the ship, he planted EMP charges at key systems. Then he made his way to the prison hold. Larissa looked up as he approached. Her eyes narrowed. "You're a human. And you're a princess who's about to get rescued," Jace said, slicing the lock on her cage. She didn't move. "Why? Why risk your life for me?" Jace shrugged. "Because someone should." Then the alarms blared. Chapter 5. The Escape. Krax's voice boomed through the ship. "Intruder detected. Kill the human. Bring me the princess." Jace grabbed Larissa's hand. "Run." They sprinted through the corridors as Zorathian warriors gave chase. Jace triggered the EMP charges. Lights flickered, doors slammed shut, and the ship lurched as systems failed. They reached the hangar, only to find Krax himself blocking their path, a plasma axe humming in his grip. "Pathetic human," Krax snarled. "You die now." Jace didn't flinch. He tapped his wrist calm. A malfunctioning cargo drone shot out of nowhere, slamming into Krax and sending him crashing into a fuel line. "Now we run," Jace said. They barely made it to the fighter before the entire hangar exploded. Chapter 6. The Aftermath. Back on Xyrus 9, the Dominion fleet arrived, their warships gleaming under the system's twin suns. Larissa, now safe, turned to Jace. "You could have died." "Yeah. But I didn't." She studied him. "You're not like the others. You didn't do this for the credits." Jace grinned. "Nah. But I won't say no to them." She laughed, a sound no one had heard from her in years. Then, surprising even herself, she leaned forward and kissed him. "Come to the Dominion," she said. "You'd make a fine royal consort." Jace blinked. I think I'll stick to salvage." But as he walked away, he couldn't help but glance back and smile. The offer. The Dominion flagship, the Eternal Dawn, loomed over Xyrus 9 like a gilded fortress. Its hull shimmered with adaptive plasma shielding, and its turrets hummed with enough firepower to level a city. Princess Larissa stood at the base of the boarding ramp, her royal guard flanking her in perfect formation. The scars of her captivity were still fresh, bruises on her wrists from the cuffs, a cut above her brow from Krax's backhand, but her posture was regal, unbroken. Jace, on the other hand, looked wildly out of place. His jacket was singed from the escape, his boots scuffed, and he carried himself like a man who had spent too long in the company of mercenaries and thieves. "You're sure you won't reconsider?" Larissa asked, stepping closer. The scent of her, something floral and alien like starlight given form, made Jace's pulse jump. "Royal consort, huh?" He rubbed the back of his neck. "I don't think I'm the palace and politics type." "You wouldn't have to be," she said, lowering her voice. "The Dominion has need of men like you. Explorers. Those who aren't afraid to step into the dark." Jace met her gaze. Her eyes were violet, like the nebula over Kesser V. He'd seen that look before, on the faces of people who had stared into the void and refused to blink. "You're not just offering me a job," he said. Larissa smiled. "No, I'm offering you a war." The truth. She told him everything. The Zorathians weren't just slavers. They were the vanguard of something worse. A lost empire, buried in the edge of known space, was waking, and Krax had only been a pawn. "They're coming," Larissa said. "And when they do, the galaxy won't be ready." Jace exhaled sharply. "And you think I can help stop that?" "I think you already have." He looked at the bounty chip in his palm. 50 million credits, enough to buy his own ship, his own crew, a lifetime of freedom. Then he looked back at her. "What if I said no?" Larissa's smile turned rueful. "Then I'd say you were a fool. But I'd also say, thank you." For a long moment Jace was silent. Then he tossed the chip into the air and caught it. "Keep the credits," he said, pressing it back into her hand. "Buy yourself some better security." Her eyes widened. "You're refusing payment." "Nah, just delaying it." He turned, walking backward toward his battered freighter. "When this war of yours starts, you'll need someone who knows how the underworld works. Someone who can get into places your fancy soldiers can't." Larissa crossed her arms. "And that's you." Jace grinned. Guess you'll have to call me and find out. The departure. As his ship lifted off, Jace glanced at the holographic comm bead she'd slipped into his pocket. A direct line to the princess herself. His co-pilot, a snarky AI named D3X, chimed in. You know, statistically speaking, humans who get involved in interstellar wars have a 97.8% mortality rate. Yeah. Jace kicked the thrusters into gear. What's the other 2.2%? They become legends. Jace laughed. Guess we'll see which one I am. And as his ship punched into hyperspace, leaving Xyrus 9 behind, Princess Larissa watched him go, knowing somehow that this wouldn't be the last time they met.